Game Up is a great hard hydration adult drink full of electrolytes, flavor. Dave, give them the stats.
Oh man, you talking about that lemon lime? You talking about fruit punch, orange, and Joe's favorite, grape, of course. And it's only 110 calories, so enjoy yourself some Game Up and don't feel guilty about it.
100% now that it's summertime, load that cooler up with some ice, fill it with some Game Up. If you thought the talk before the episode was wild, then you haven't watched Who Killed WCW. Have you gotten a chance at all this week to
Yes.
watch either of the 2 episodes that have come out?
I've watched them both.
What are your opinions of the show, and are you learning anything new?
So Brad Siegel has his reputation of hating pro wrestling, I think.
But loving Goldberg.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, it's very interesting. So it's like when I watched him, I really got the feeling like, okay, this is a business guy. Like, he's not a pro wrestling fan, but he also saw the purpose of pro wrestling at times. So I think it kind of I find it interesting that he's just not, the way that was always built up, and he's like, I hate wrestling, get wrestling off the air. But if you listen to him, it's like, oh no, he saw the value in the ratings and he saw what they were doing. And strangely enough, yeah, he wanted Goldberg. He saw Goldberg as this family, for ad dollars, that Goldberg could be that family guy that everybody connects with, which I just thought interesting. That, I mean, not that he isn't or what. It's like, I don't know why. Like, big bald guy. Like,
also, Brad Siegel is a company guy, so he realized Ted Turner wanted it. And I think realizing they're not going to get rid of it, he kind of saw the upside in it, because if you are viewing it as a TV thing, you're looking for, what it can bring in for you.
I heard Eric say this in the past, but I also thought it was very interesting and telling when he made that comment of why people didn't want them to work and why there was some jealousy. He's like, they had that primetime real estate, 8 to 10 on TNT. And I thought, yeah, I can totally see that, where especially wrestling was probably looked down upon back then. That a lot of other guys that had girls that had shows or want to get their, stuff on there. They're like, what the fuck? Let's get wrestling. Oh, that won't last. They got the highest ratings. Oh no. It's like, you can see that.
Has wrestling ever not been looked down on? Because I don't know how much you run into it. I run into it a mix where you talk about being a fan of pro wrestling, and then it's almost like you have to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I find funny is people that go, you still watch that?
Yeah.
Have questions about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It makes it into their news feed. So it's like, as much as it's universally looked down upon, it catches eyes no matter what.
One other thing too, I did like the clip of them on C-SPAN when they were talking about, are they embarrassed to have pro wrestling on? And he said, we do great ratings. And he talked about how, they sold out the Georgia Dome, I think within an hour, he had said. I've heard some people dispute that claim, but regardless, the fact that discussion was taking place on C-SPAN to me, I was like, oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I like seeing the people that you hear about sometimes, like Jeannie Engel is a name I've heard Eric Bischoff talk about a lot. Brad Siegel, and like I've listened to the Nitro books, so hearing some of that drama unfold and seeing the people is great. The toughest thing to take is how much I find this makes everybody kind of look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not everybody, but Kevin Nash. Like, I know what his attitude is about it, but then when you see it, it's like, come on, man, you're killing me here.
Yeah.
The Turner exec people that just hate it and now have a chance to talk about it, those are kind of bummers. Another plus is seeing Ted Turner's son, somebody that I didn't even know existed, but seeing that Ted Turner's in bad health, you kind of get that representation from him. I've enjoyed it. It's another good Vice series, produced by the guys who do Dark Side of the Ring. We were talking in a group chat about how the Lapsed Fan has been doing episodes, recapping the episodes, but having guests on. To recap the first episode, they had on Guy Evans that wrote the Nitro book. For the second episode, they had Brian Alvarez that wrote the Death of WCW book. So
Alvarez
that's kind of ancillary.
That episode, but I know Brian Alvarez is not a fan of the series. So,
and I like it. It hurts because I enjoy WCW, or I enjoyed a period of WCW so much.
Me too.
That to see everybody fighting over who killed it, and then supposedly we're gonna get everybody's opinions of who killed it in the last episode. Where if you really watch the series and listen to the story, it's the meeting point of where all these people collide. It's having it on a channel that doesn't want it, having the people that run it make, at times questionable decisions. And it's that whole chaos around it that never made it work. WWF worked because even if Vince McMahon didn't necessarily get behind wrestling or like the term wrestling, it was a united front. Everybody was pushing towards one thing. So Randy really likes the series. We've got 2 more episodes left.
If you haven't tried Game Up, then you are missing out. Imagine your favorite seltzer and your favorite sports drink had a baby, but it's way better than that. Each can is 110 calories, low carb, 4.9 ABV. It's a nice light drink that is not light on flavor. Game Up comes in fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. Pick it up at drinkgameup.com or at your nearest liquor store.